Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are continuing with chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Text number 27. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthāvara jangamam kshetragna samyogat tadvidhi bharata rishabha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So thank you all for joining, and we are continuing with chapter 13. And as we can see today's verse, it is talking about moving and non-moving beings. In the beginning of chapter 13, Krishna explained to us about the body and the soul. The body is the field of activities, and the soul is the knower of the field of activities, and the super soul, which is the Supreme Lord, is the knower of all the bodies of all living entities. Now we will cover verse 27 through 29, and Krishna will give us knowledge about how we should associate, what are the benefits of good association, that means association with spiritually minded people, and how to do selfless service. We covered this last week also, where Krishna talked about giving this knowledge to others, right? Service we can do to others in the form of body, like giving them food, clothing, etc. But when we give them knowledge about spirituality, then we are helping them to break the cycle of misery. Because with the help of knowledge, they will be able to understand what to do, what not to do. So that is selfless service that we can do. So how can we do that? By association. Just like we are associating on Zoom, on Facebook, we are meeting each other, we are talking, we are discussing, and we are learning the Bhagavad Gita. So when we give this knowledge, actually, we are human beings, and it is our duty to help others. It's a huge responsibility, we can say, to actually act like human beings. Understand first and then explain it to others. This is how we can benefit each other with our association. So one may say, what's a big deal, right? The big deal is that when we associate on the spiritual level, then it is a source of inspiration. It nurtures our spiritual growth as well as the others as well. That is selfless service, you see. When we associate and talk about the Supreme Lord, talk about Krishna, talk about spirituality, then we develop a desire to follow this path, desire to do bhakti yoga. And with such association of like-minded people, we kind of get uplifted, and also the mind gets purified. So here, this verse that we read just now is talking about body and soul. We've already learned the field of activities, which is the body. Now, Prabhupada explains that we living entities and the material nature eternal. We learned that in chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, that dehi no asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namoyati. He tells Arjuna that become a sober person, a dhira, by understanding that the spirit soul is in this body, it's entrapped in this body, and in this body, the soul goes through like the body grows from boyhood to youth to old age, and then at the time of death, the soul goes on to the next body, which means the soul is eternal. So we learned the basic foundation of Bhagavad Gita, which is we are not this body, and this body is temporary and it is made of material elements. So creation is a combination of living entities and the material nature. So this verse is talking about moving and non-moving. Now, moving is us, right? We move, we talk, we see, we hear, we do things with our body. But there are non-moving. Non-moving living entities are like the trees and the mountains and the hills, etc. You see? So Krishna, he has three energies: external, internal, and marginal. Of course, we living entities, human beings, we are marginal. Why? Because we have a freedom of choice, minute independence, to decide whether we want to go higher or we want to go lower. We want to elevate ourselves or we want to degrade ourselves. That's why we are marginal, right in between. So, what is important? The soul, the spirit soul within the body. And it is this soul that gives life to the body. And this body grows because the soul is inside. At the time of death, when the soul leaves the body doesn't grow at all. It cannot move, it cannot do anything, right? So, what is important, the body or the soul? Definitely, it is the spirit soul. Now, that doesn't mean we don't take care of the body. We do. Because until and unless we take care of the body, how can we perform spiritual activities, right? So, soul is important, that gives life to the body, and the body grows because the soul is inside. Now, in the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Krishna explained to us the qualities of the spirit soul. There are 22 verses just on the spirit soul. So if we keep reminding ourselves, I'm not this body, but I'm the spirit soul, and if we do not remind ourselves and if we continue to work or operate on the bodily concept, which means only think about the body, only feed the body, what about the spirit soul? We need to feed the spirit soul. So one may say, what is the food for the spirit soul? Very simple. It's knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, and mantra meditation. When we chant the holy names of the Lord, that feeds the spirit soul. So if we operate only on bodily platform, then there will be no spiritual progress at all. Now, generally, everybody likes to progress materially, right? Everyone wants more money, better house, better car, etc., etc. We people like material possessions. They like to progress materially. So why not progress spiritually also, right? We can do both. We can do side by side. Important to understand that this material body is temporary. It's given to us on lease, right? When we lease an apartment, once the lease expires, we have to leave it. Similarly, this body is on lease, and once we have an appointment with death, that means the lease is over and we have to leave this apartment and go, which means take on another body. So, if we use our intelligence, actually, human beings, they have not just intelligence, but philosophical intelligence, which means they can discriminate everything, whether it is the food, association, environment, everything. We have the capability to discriminate. And so, basically, because we are spirit souls, eternal parts of the Supreme Lord, it is natural for us to be spiritual. You see? And if we eat the right food, have the right association, live in the right environment, then that will be very conducive to spirituality. You see? We as human beings, we have huge responsibility. We need to understand the purpose of human form of life and explain it to others. Give our association to others. That is selfless service. So, by serving others, we are actually indirectly serving the Supreme Lord also. You see, as I mentioned earlier, the good association is a source of inspiration. It nurtures our spiritual growth. Now, Krishna, in the previous chapters, he has explained to us difference between body and soul. He's explained to us about karma, right? How does karma work? He explained to us in the previous chapter devotional service, how to perform service for the Lord in devotion, with love and devotion. Why? Because he is a supreme Lord. He's a controller, he's a witness within the heart, he's a guide, and he's a sanctioner also. Now, in the very next verse, number 28, Krishna tells Arjuna, one who sees the super soul, which is him, the Supreme Lord, he's situated in the heart as the super soul, who's also called Paramatma. One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, you see, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees. So, who's the person who's actually seeing? Who's the actual seer? Is the one who understands soul and supersoul, which is within the heart, in the body, travels from one body to another. Just like the body is destroyed, soul and supersoul never get destroyed. Such a person is actually seen. Again, Krishna is talking about Super Soul to let us know that he has not left us alone here in the material world. He is traveling with us within our heart. He is going with us from one body to another just to guide us, just to help us to break this cycle of birth and death, to break this cycle of misery. So, again and again, he's stressing on the soul and the super soul that they are eternal, they do not get destroyed. Now, when here in this verse, Krishna is saying actually sees, that means sees means sees, sees, to see. What does he actually mean he sees? That means not just understand theoretically that soul, super soul is not destroyed, but actually to realize it. And when we realize that, then there will be $1,000,000 question in our mind. Why are we struggling to satisfy the temporary body? Why aren't we giving importance to the spirit soul, which is eternal, right? That is our true identity. It is the soul which is going from one body to another, right? Soul is continuing its journey. So why not break the cycle of temporary body and get a spiritual body which never gets destroyed, right? So this verse that we, number 28, is talking about the destructible body. We cannot keep the same body forever. No, that's not possible. Yes, some people may, after death, after the soul leaves the body, the relative may preserve that body. But for how long? But that body is of no use because it cannot see, it cannot eat, it cannot hear, nothing at all, right? So if we have good association of devotees of the Lord, then it becomes easy to understand. You see, good association helps us to see things properly. It helps us to, it reminds us again and again, I am not this body, I am the spirit soul. I am in the heart, and along with me is the Supreme Lord as the super soul. So when we see someone, when we meet somebody, whether it is at work or at social life or while we are in a grocery store or whatever, when we see someone, we can practice by remembering This is just a body that we see, but there is a soul and a super soul within that body. Not to forget that. When we make that a practice, then we will think twice before being mean or rude or insulting to someone else. We will think about it. You see, that also is service, selfless service. Not only we understand difference between body and soul, but we help others also understand. You see, this is the power of good association. See, so first we need to take on knowledge, understand it, contemplate on it, put it into practice, and then help others, right? So the devotees of Krishna, they help to guide others. They guide others. They try to remove their ignorance by giving them knowledge. And that is what Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, that to sharpen one's intelligence with the sword of knowledge. Very, very important, you see. Many times I've heard people say, there's nothing after death. Finish. Everything is over after death. Nope. According to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3 and 5, Krishna says, there is no such thing. There is reincarnation. Based on the activities we perform in this life, we have to face the reactions either in this life or in the next, whether it is good or bad. So after death, everything is not over unless we qualify ourselves to get a spiritual body and go back to the spiritual world. That's the only time when there is no more material life. So, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita knowledge is to help us to break this cycle of suffering, you see. So, that is very, why is it, many times people ask, why is it Krishna is repeating again and again, you are a spirit soul, you are not the body, I'm the super soul, I'm in the heart. Why? Why so many times? Because it's important. We have tendency to forget. And so reminders have to be given. So it's important because unless we understand we are not this body, we will not be able to progress spiritually. Now, today's last verse that we are taking is number 29. And in that, Krishna says, one who sees the supersoul equally present everywhere, in every living being, does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination. So very important. Again, we got to understand and remind ourselves again and again, Lord is within the heart. I am not this body, I'm the spirit soul. And Lord is present in every living entity's body, which means it could be any species. There are 8.4 million species of life. There are birds, insects, aquatics, animals, human beings, trees, bushes, shrubs, whatever you may say. Every living entity has a soul, and the super soul also in each and every living entity. So once we realize that, then Krishna says one will not degrade oneself by the mind, which means everything happens in the mind. Thinking, feeling, willing, everything in the mind. So it behooves us to control the mind. We learned that in previous chapters how to control the mind. The easiest and the best method of controlling the mind is to do mantra meditation, to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we do that, we are controlling the mind. We are purifying the mind. When we purify the mind, then the mind comes under control. But the mind also needs help of intelligence. And intelligence needs the help of knowledge. So when knowledge is given to intelligence, then intelligence uses that knowledge and controls the mind. Because see, Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book based on blind faith. No, it is spiritual science. It is teaching us how to lead this human form of life. So you see, Krishna treats everybody equally. So we also should understand that Krishna is equally present in all living entities. Just as I mentioned, he is present even in the animals. So we cannot eat animals because they are children of God. They have a life which has been given to them by the Supreme Lord himself, you see. So here, this particular last verse for today, 29, is actually giving us a formula how not to degrade ourselves, which is control of mind. Mind is the place where everything takes place. Our desires, then the attachment to those desires, and then to fulfill those desires, to do some activities. But if mind is controlled, then one will not degrade oneself. So, to not only control the mind, but also to control the senses. So, in the previous chapters, Krishna has explained to us it is difficult to control the mind. He makes it very clear. It is difficult, but he says it's possible by constant practice and detachment. Constant practice means every day, just like we eat every day, we sleep every day, we work every day, we do whatever we need to do every day. Similarly, we need to do mantra meditation every day. That's how we will become attached to Krishna, and there will be automatic detachment from enjoying the senses. You see, controlling the mind, Krishna says, then one will reach the transcendental destination, which is the spiritual world. So, for us to be able to reach there, we need to understand spiritual nature. We need to understand our position, our constitutional position, which is to be a servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarup hoy, Krishna ra Nitya Das. Nitya means eternal. We are eternal servants of Krishna. That we need to understand. So, serving just the senses or the mind may lead to frustration. But, and of course, the happiness that we get by serving the mind and the senses, that happiness is short lived. So there is more frustration. But if we serve the source of our existence, which is the Supreme Lord Krishna, by controlling the mind through mantra meditation, then we will be able to reach the transcendental destination. You see? Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he says, if we see super soul in everyone's heart, and if we understand each living entity is a spirit soul, then we will not degrade ourselves by destructive mentality. Now, if we want to avoid destructive mentality, then we need to have good association, good devotee association, good association of spiritually like minded people, right? Then one will gradually start advancing in Krishna consciousness. We have seen children, especially little kids, they are all over the place. Like they are into everything. They want to break their toys, they want to run around, they are so curious, inquisitive. They want to do all things all over the place. Then what do the parents do? Control them, train them. So the mind is like a child. We need to train it. Mind wants to go here and there and do this and that. And if the intelligence is not strong enough based on knowledge, if it is not sharpened with knowledge, then intelligence becomes very weak, and then the mind does whatever the mind wants to do, right? So it's very, very important to have good association, because when we associate, we learn from each other. We remind each other the difference between body and soul. We remind each other what is the goal of human form of life? Goal is not eat, sleep, and be merry. No, that even animals are doing. But we have philosophical intelligence that we can understand what is right, what is wrong, what needs to be done, and what ought not to be done. See? So when we understand the goal, when we understand we are suffering, one may say, hey, I'm not suffering. I have everything that I want. I have good family, good house, good car, good job, money in the bank. I'm happy. Well, that is short lived, right? That is not permanent happiness. We are suffering. We have seven sufferings: birth, disease, old age, death. Suffering caused by mind and body, suffering caused by other living entities, and suffering caused by material nature. We have seven sufferings, seven miseries, as they are called by Krishna. So, when we understand that, why we are suffering, and if we understand how to break the cycle of suffering, that is a real human being. You see, we are actually spiritual beings having human experience. You understand that? We are not human beings, we are spiritual beings. Right now, we are in the human body. Previously, we were in some other body, maybe not human, maybe an animal, whatever it is. But through evolutionary cycle, we have now come to the form of human being. So it is a huge responsibility. We need to act like human beings. We need to act like spiritual beings. We need to understand purpose of human life and then explain it to others, right? This is how we benefit each other, because when we have this good association, as I mentioned earlier, it is a source of inspiration. It helps us to nurture our own spiritual growth and help others also to grow spiritually. So, giving this Bhagavad Gita knowledge to others, in fact, when we come to chapter 18, the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we will see where Krishna tells Arjuna that one who explains this knowledge to others is most dear to me. Why? Because by giving knowledge, we are helping others to break the cycle of birth and death. That is selfless service, you see. And in this devotee association, we will develop a desire to become more spiritually inclined. It'll be uplifting and also help us in purifying our mind. So the whole process is given to us in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita actually is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. You know, Vedas are so vast, thousands and thousands and thousands of verses. We cannot finish reading them in one lifetime. So the Supreme Lord, He condensed, He made the essence of the Vedas in Srimad Bhagavatam. You see the books at the back. And the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna knows we are lazy people. We are not going to spend all our life reading all those books. Nuh-uh, we don't have time. So He's given us a condensed form, just the essence. You see, Prabhupada gives a very nice example. Supposing I want rose essence, right? I can grow a garden, grow a lot of roses, right? And then once they bloom, then I pluck them and I squeeze them or whatever and make essence. That's a long process. Why not just go to the store and buy the essence bottle, right? Just take one drop and that nice rose fragrance can be experienced, right? Bhagavad Gita is that essence in that small bottle, just 700 verses gives us the whole Vedic knowledge, right? So the process is there in the Bhagavad Gita, doing mantra meditation, hearing, associating with devotees. This is how we make spiritual progress. And the best way to control the mind is mantra meditation. Like after every class, we do mantra meditation. So we'll do today also. We'll just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 10 times just to give and show you how easy it is. And there are 108 beads in this mala. And if we chant the Maha Mantra on each bead, takes about 8 minutes. So in 8 minutes, we can finish one round of chanting, and we can feel the change in our consciousness just by chanting. So please, my humble request is please chant with me in the chat. I've already put the towards the end the Maha Mantra, so you can read that and chant. I think Justin has come for the first time, so it is there in the. Oh, Brooke is also here for the first time, I think, Daniel. So I'll post it again in the chat. So you can see towards the end of the links, there is the mantra. So let's chant. Please chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So you see, it's very, very simple. So my humble request to you is please chant every day. Do this mantra meditation, and you will notice the change in the state of consciousness. So I'm going to end now. If anyone has any questions or comments, you are very welcome to ask.